Hello and welcome. Today we are going to take a look at one of the most common development kits for the original Xbox, the Debug Kit. What you see here now is a kit that you're probably most likely to recognize. It has a green case and it says Debug Kit right on the front of it. Out of the box, it does not play retail software, but the primary benefit of a Debug Kit is that it does run debugging Xbox executables, or XVEs, such as prototypes. The fact that the large majority of debug kits have 128 megabytes of RAM, double that of what a retail Xbox has. But as you're about to see, debug kits actually come in a huge variety that you may not necessarily notice. Let's start with the very first debug kit that's shipped to developers. Now, you may be looking at this and saying, but wait, it says development kit right on the front. And you would be right. It doesn't have the green case of a debug kit. In fact, this shares the case, the jewel, actually most of the internals as well, with the DVT3 beta preview hardware, predating the standard debug kit by a few months. This kit does have some hardware differences that make final code incompatible with it. Now, to prove that it's not just a DVT3, which would be nice in its own right, we can take a look at the ports on the back. Actually, it's the lack of ports that signaled that this was a debugging kit to me. You could think that they were simply removed along the way, but if we flip the kit over, you can actually see that it does say debug kit. Now let's jump back to the green Xbox for a minute. If we take a look very closely at the section above the debug kit text, you'll see that there are no indentations for the compact disc or Dolby Digital logos. I was told years ago that this was the case for all debug kits, but actually that isn't true at all. Now this debug kit actually does have the proper indentations that you might expect on a retail kit. Functionally, these two Xboxes are exactly the same. I don't believe that either one is more desirable than the other, but I thought it was an interesting variation to keep track of. If we look at this Xbox, it's even more different than the previous one. This one too has the proper indentations, but missing entirely is the debug kit text. If anything, I would say this kit is probably less desirable from a collection standpoint, but in reality, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference at all. Flipping the kit over shows that it is indeed a debug kit, not just an extreme green retail Xbox. So that's it, right? 4 different variations, that's not bad. But wait, there's more. This kit looks like a standard Xbox, and for good reason. When showing games at a trade show such as E3, companies seem to want to hide the fact that their games are running on development kits. Most people attending these shows don't really care, but it's something that they do for whatever reason that they have. Some of these kits actually have 64 megs of RAM, but this one has the full 128. Flipping this Xbox over, you can see that it too is actually a debug kit, and not just a retail Xbox. Last but not least, we have this internal prototype. It runs in an internal dashboard with an early Xbox Live dashboard. But one of the primary purposes of this Xbox was to test different configurations. According to one employee, a spreadsheet was kept featuring dozens, if not hundreds, of possible combinations, since all pieces of hardware would ultimately need to be tested before being released to the public. This Xbox is a QT DVT1 Config A, featuring a Samsung drive, which was not available during the launch of the Xbox. There are multiple versions of these internal prototypes out there, so keep an eye out for another video coming soon. 6 debug variations, I think that's enough for one day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and tell me what you'd like to see more of. Coming soon is a brand new original Xbox website called XB Central, as an Xbox Central. So keep an eye out for that, and thanks again for watching.